What's up, Guardians? Chubbs Gaming here, bringing you another Destiny gameplay video. So this is one of my first attempts at Supremacy in Destiny, aka Kill Confirmed. It's been several years since I played any Kill Confirmed, so it'll take me a while to get used to it, especially on the new maps. I did kind of roll around on the new maps by myself in private matches just to kind of get used to them. Of course, if you don't have a shotgun or it's just like a high charging fusion rifle, you're in trouble. I did use shotguns on a couple of these maps. I did actually use the Lord Saladin's Vigil right here. It's got a great roll on it. I'm compiling footage right now to put out a video on it. So let me get to the point of the video though. There's nothing stunning about this gameplay. I think I finished over one, but the point of the video is to kind of explain what happened to me, and it sounds like several other people across the country, regarding the 1.28 update that dropped on Monday. Mine would get to about 95% complete, and then all of a sudden I would receive an error message that said that the data was corrupted. And I kept trying to download the update file, and it kept saying that, and then I researched the error code, which its base was supposed to be a possible faulty hard drive in the PlayStation. So I did everything that the PlayStation recommended. I rebuilt the database. I trashed the app from my system and tried to re-download the whole 50 gig file. I did a system wipe, a system initialization. That didn't work either. Tried to change my DNS around. That didn't work. Like after every time, like every change I made, I tried to download, and it would get to about 232 megs out of 50 gigs, with less than 1%, and it would stay there for a few minutes, and then I would get that error message saying that the data was corrupt. Now, if you're like me and you love Destiny, and I had a couple extra bucks in the bank at that time, I went ahead and I bought a new PlayStation. I didn't have time to wait on a hard drive. I thought, well, if this fixes it, fine, no problem. So I went out and I got a new PlayStation. Same error message. And like at this point, I was almost at the end of my rope. I didn't know what else to try. Like at the time, this was late Monday night, I didn't see anything on the message boards about this. I talked to a friend of mine. We bypassed my router. We went straight from the modem into the PlayStation, and that didn't help. So I was at a huge loss. I talked to my ISP, who had no clue what was going on. They're like, well, you got a strong signal. And I said, well, okay, well, that still doesn't explain it. And I talked to PlayStation, and they didn't have any answers for me either. They had never heard of anything like this. So finally, like Tuesday morning, I talked to a friend of mine. You see me play with him quite a bit, TJB82. He's probably my best friend IRL, and I tell you what, it's a huge thank you to him. We had one more idea, and that was for me to drive to his house. He lives about 45 minutes away from me, and for me to drive to his house, and he let me download the entire 50 gig file on his network. So, and after a couple days, which that worked for me, thank God. After a couple days, I started seeing this pop up on message boards. Like anybody who has Mediacom as an ISP could possibly have a problem with this. It was only Mediacom customers that it was affecting, and it was exactly what was happening to me. It would get, like the download would get to a certain percentage and then just stop and say that the data was corrupted. And there's nothing you can do except for try to download it on somebody else's network if you can find somebody that's nice enough to do that. So as far as I know, and as far as what I've seen, if you're still experiencing this issue days later, the only answer I can tell you is to try to download it on a friend's network or somebody's network. Like I said, big thank you to TJB82. Without him, I still wouldn't be playing Destiny. It's always great to have awesome friends like that, IRL. Just a quick update, I have been playing a ton of PvE content in Destiny since Tuesday night, trying to get ready for the raid. We do have a raid group ready, and we're going to raid at about 9 p.m. Central. I will try to stream that. We'll see how it works on my internet. I've never had a problem like this at all with Mediacom up until now. But we will be raiding in a few hours. I am working on some weapon clips like this Lord Saladin's visual I'm using here. I'm going to try to put some clips together. It is a great fusion rifle. If you like fusion rifles and mixing it up a little bit in sixes, I highly recommend this one, especially with a decent roll. I think mine came with rangefinder, rifled, and maybe hidden hand. I don't know. I can't remember. We'll have to go more in depth when I put the video out. I'm going into the raid blind tonight. Pretty excited about it. Me and my entire team are. So we'll see how that works out. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to finish it, from what I've heard anyway, and I haven't heard much. I've been pretty much keeping a blackout on it. I've heard it's a pretty fun raid though. Anyway, after I get that done, we will be back on our normal PvP schedule with, 2, 3, 4 videos a week at least. I'll have some time to review some weapons and give my opinions on them and, what you guys might want to hunt for, what you guys might want to grind for. I can tell you off the top of my head, of course, many of you already know, the hand cannon that the Vanguard Quartermaster has is pretty much like if you don't have a God-rolled IS Luna, just go ahead and pick up that hand cannon from the Vanguard Quartermaster. It's got a God roll on it with rifled and I think rangefinder too. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. Once again, I apologize for the lack of content this week. I was just kind of, once I finally got to play, thanks to my friend, I was just kind of soaking it all in. So, but we will be back on our normal schedule right after this evening. Hope you guys have a great night. Have a great rest of the weekend. And remember, always lead with a grenade.